Um, so this is my interview with Wade Burnett, my dad, born in 1972, May 1st.
Yes.
Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the election in 2000. And the first question is, what do you remember most about the Bush versus Gore election?
I remember most about that election the debate over who won because of the Florida recount.
Okay. How did you feel when the election was over?
I felt relieved. I didn't want Gore to win, so of course I felt relieved, but that was pretty much it.
How did the election affect you within the 8 years of the presidency?
That's hard to say. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Not even like foreign policy, like you maybe felt safer, or
Yeah, I was glad that Bush was the president when everything happened. I thought he handled it well.
um, how did the opposing political party react to the election?
Well, they weren't happy. They were disagreed with it.
They just didn't like it.
Whatever.
Okay. Was there anything or any policy you did not like about both candidates or political parties?
Like what? Oh, I don't like how both political parties continue to spend money. And even though the conservative side of it is we're supposed to be fiscally conservative, but yet we still continue to spend we're over $20 trillion. And then, when the non-fiscally conservative folks get in power, then they spend a lot of money. And so we have no real budget.
Okay, second topic is 9/11.
Okay.
First question, what was the first thought that you can remember having when you heard about the World Trade Center?
I was driving to work and I pulled into work and I was listening to it on the radio and I heard at first when I heard an airplane hit, I thought, wow, somebody was flying their own plane and they crashed into a building. And then I heard that a second plane hit and then it started to sink in that maybe this was planned.
Yeah. I'm gonna skip that question. What was it like the days and the weeks after the attack?
Everybody was scared because you realized that people from another country had come into our borders and then they planned this attack and then they actually pulled it off.
In your opinion, how did 9/11 affect the world today?
I don't think that we would have been as involved in the Middle East. I think it has made us safer because it forced us to get involved, even though I don't agree with everything that's going on or everything that we've done in the Middle East. But it forced us to get engaged and get involved because when we did nothing, then it allowed them to train and plan and formulate an attack and then actually pull it off and kill 3,500 Americans on our soil. So because we've engaged on outside of our borders, we've been able to keep ourselves safe, more safe than we would be.
Okay. So the next topic would be the internet. And the first question is, what is your first memory of the internet?
The first memory of the internet is me using a program called Kermit, which was something I loaded on a computer that allowed me to plug into a phone line and then use a modem to dial into the internet through a phone line.
Interesting. When was the first time you had access to like a personal computer or a cell phone?
A cell phone was in the 90s, the 1990s, and I had a bag phone. It was
Can you explain what a bag phone
it was
is?
a bag, like a leather pouch, and it had a phone that had a cord on it, and it had a little antenna, and you plugged it into your
Cigarette lighter.
cigarette lighter. Yeah.
Interesting. Was it a big phone?
Yes.
Okay, next question. How has the internet changed throughout the years in your personal life? Do you use it more?
Yes. We use it a lot more every day.
For work and stuff?
In work and home life and how to fix something. You can find anything on YouTube. Somebody's already figured out how to do something. If you want to know how to do something, you just go on the internet and learn about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can you compare life with and without the internet? What was it like?
Without the internet, you watched TV, regular TV. The internet is just more distraction. It's if there's nothing on TV, then you go look on the internet, or if you didn't have that, you would typically turn off the TV and go outside or do something. Play a
Productive?
board game. Yeah, more productive. Yeah, I think you're more productive. I think you're less productive with the internet in some ways because it's just a
Especially
distraction.
as teenagers.
Yeah, with kids and stuff. I think that the internet allows, it comes into your house because you have people that are sitting in a room somewhere designing a software program to target your children to get their attention, and I don't like that.
Do you think in this day and age that the internet is essential to the everyday life of the average person?
I don't know if it's essential. I think you can survive without the internet. You can have a normal life and not have the internet, but you would miss out on a lot of things, everything that people are talking about, things that work, and then you have to know how to use the internet pretty much to do any job today.
Yeah. So the next one's about cultural diffusion, and that's when you see American culture in other countries. So, first question, when you travel to other parts of the world,
Did you start it?
yes, did you notice American culture and influence?
Yes.
Like what?
So in Europe and Germany and countries in and around Germany, I know that they specifically like all things Texas. They think Texas is cool, and then they really like Texas country music. It's really popular. And
Yeah,
in
what about in Asia? Yeah.
So in Asia, it's everywhere. You see, they love John Denver. I had a whole group of people that I worked with sing multiple John Denver songs. They knew all the words to West Virginia, and many of them couldn't even speak English. And then also everywhere you look, there's American fast food. There's Pizza Hut and Kentucky Fried Chicken, and I even saw a Dairy Queen in China.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, that concludes our questions for the interview. Thanks, Dad.
Okay, and thank Harvey too.
Thanks, Harvey.
Good dog.
Good dog. In my interview with my dad, I learned a lot about other countries and how America can influence their music and their food. And I also really liked learning about 9/11 and that some people couldn't even believe that was real at first, and that everyone was in shock for so many days. And I liked learning that now we're probably safer in America because that happened, and were more involved. And I also learned about how both parties, like from the election, still spend money even though they say they won't when they get elected into office, and I thought that was interesting.